Welcome to the tutorial for sample lesson number 8, 3-column sort. If you remember from the video, there were words in this answer bank and the students had to look carefully at the word and decide if the vowel was long because it was the consonant vowel consonant pattern, or if it was a vowel consonant E pattern, or if it was a vowel at the end of a syllable or at the end of a word. So let's see how I built this lesson. When you first logged in, you arrived at this page and looked at the launch tiles, find the lesson launch tile, go to create lesson. Now I'm going to give this lesson a title, tutorial, 3-column sort. And it's going to be in the category of English Language Arts. And this could be for first grade, second grade. Lesson can be repeated. And it's going to be an interactive delivery method because the students are going to be interacting with words and sliding them from the answer bank into the appropriate column. I will say I do not want the answers to show at the start. I do need an answer bank on the right hand side, and I will include a timer on this. The grading method is going to be on button press. Many lessons I do are on interaction because I want immediate feedback for the students, especially the lessons that had an object and labels were put around the object showing the parts of the object. But on this lesson, I want it on button press because I want the students to take a little bit more time looking at the word, building awareness of looking for those vowel patterns in words. If I had on interaction, they might just drag the words from the answer bank and try to put them in one place. If it didn't work, they'd put it in another place. So I've chosen on button press. If you want to, you could do on interaction and your students would get immediate feedback. I'm going to enable audible responses. And if it's incorrect, I'm going to have a beep. If it's correct, I'm going to have a bell ring. And if there's a perfect score, I'm going to have applause. This correct bell ring really only comes into play if you have on interaction. So you can just leave it at applause. It's always going to be on applause if you don't change it. And now we are on our lesson surface. And the first thing we need to do is to import our graphic organizer 3-column sort. So we're going to look at these widgets that are available for interactive lessons. And this is the widget for graphic organizers. And we're going to call this the columns. And right now we can't do anything with it because we haven't chosen which kind of graphic organizer we want. So to determine and to place the graphic organizer on the lesson surface, we'll go to the toolbar and it says desired widget and there's nothing in the box. We have to go to the drop down menu and highlight it. You see at this point there's only 3 things in our drop down menu. The answer bank, we said we wanted on the right, the digital timer, and our graphic organizer. So I after I highlight it, I go to the first tile over and select it. And now you see, because it has the blue dashes around it, that this is an active widget. It can be modified. Now we have to decide which type of graphic organizer we want. We click on the drop-down menu and we're going to go to column, 3 columns. And look at the size of the 3 column, the blank graphic organizer. We need it to be larger. So all we need to do is go here and we're going to say that we want it 550 wide and we want it 400 high. And then we click Update Widget. And we see we now have our 3 columns for our 3 column sort. We need to drag this graphic organizer down so that we can put a title on top of it and if there's any directions. So we can either click on it and drag it this way, or we could use the arrows, move it up or down, left or right. I think I'm going to drag it down a little bit farther, and now I have to deselect it so that I can get another widget onto our lesson surface. The second tile over in the toolbar is deselect, so I'm going to deselect it. Now you see there are no blue dashes, and we know that we're ready to put a new widget on our lesson surface. So we want to make a title. So that would be a text box. We go to the text box widget and we're going to call this title. And we can either click OK with our mouse, or we could just go return on our keyboard. We're going to call this, the title is going to be, why is the vowel long? Why is the vowel long? It could be, why does the vowel say its name? Whatever your students would understand. We want the title to stay on the lesson surface when all the words go into the answer bank for sorting. So we need to click static. And the background color of the text box, let's keep that white. We don't need a border around the title, so we'll deselect that. Arial is a good font, and we'll increase the size of the title to 20. We want it bold, and blue's a pretty good color for a title. We'll leave that, and we'll keep auto size selected. Auto size means that the size of the text box grows or shrinks to accommodate the number of characters that you typed. So next thing, we update the widget, and there we have our title. You put your cursor in the middle and drag it so that it looks right, and then deselect. Now we need our titles on the top of our sorting columns, so those would be text boxes. And we're going to say that this is a CVVC, and we simply go here, CVVC, and we also want our titles of our columns static, so we're going to check static. We could put a border if we wanted, color white, Arial font family, and let's have the font size be 18, bold, auto size, and let's use black type. But I changed my mind, and let's pick a color for the first column. Let's have the first column be yellow. So we're going to pick that color. and we're going to update our widget. So remember, it's 18 bold, auto size, black print, and this is different, the color yellow. And sure enough, there it is. Now I'm looking at it and I think I want to put spaces between each letter. So all I do is put my cursor back into this text section and update the widget, and I think that looks better. Drag it, and I'm going to show you a little shortcut for the other two. Remember, we have Arial 18, bold, auto size, and black. So we updated it. We're going to deselect. And we're going to go to this settings icon. And this is where you can set preferences for text boxes, drop downs, drop zones. And we said we wanted Arial 18. We said instead of blue text, we want black text. We want it bold, we want it auto size. The background color we're going to change for the other two, so we won't bother with that. And we said we did want a border, so we save our preferences and click out. And that'll help us do these other two text boxes faster. When you have a lot of text boxes, it makes a difference. The next column is going to be, if we have I'm sorry, if the pattern is a consonant, then a vowel, and a silent E. And so here we're going to go consonant, and we're going to put a space this time, vowel, E. And we said we want this static, and we're going to choose a different color. The first color was yellow. Let's choose a blue for this color, and let's choose this blue. The Arial 18, yep, all the preferences did travel, so now we can just drag this over and deselect and go to the next text box. And this will be if you have a consonant and then a vowel at the end of the syllable or at the end of the word. So again, we're going to go C space V. We're going to say static. And we have a blue, we have a yellow. So let's have a pink. And let's choose this pink. And all the preferences did come over. So now we have our titles for each column. Now we're going to have about 5 words or so for each pattern. And we have to let the student should be able to drag any words and put them in the correct column, and the program will say that they're correct. So we're going to use a drop zone widget. And the drop zone widget is the last one, the bottom. And we're going to call this the CVVC drop zone. And you have some choices, and we don't need either one of these for this kind of activity. What we're going to do is we're going to type the words that we want to go into the answer bank that have the CVVC pattern. So I'm just going to put about 4 in so we can do it quickly. After you type one entry, hit return. And there we have our, whoops, let me go back one. Rain-grown teeth. The fill color, because this is going to be the first column, and the first column we chose a yellow, so we're going to choose the same yellow again. And we need to change the size of these, of the drop zone. So we're going to have, for the first drop zone, we're going to have 100 wide and 300 high. Update the widget, and there we go. And we can deselect it, and they match. The next drop zone we're going to do is blue, and that's for the consonant vowel silent E. So again, we don't worry about these. We're going to type a few words that have that pattern. And how about nose? And we want that fill color to be the blue. And again, we need to change the size 100 to 300 high. And we drag it and deselect. And the last one is the pink one, drop zone, and that is the consonant vowel. And we're going to type a few selections. Maybe, hello, and she. The fill color would be pink, and it's 100 by 300 high. Update, drag it, deselect, and we have our lesson complete. You save your lesson, and then try it out. And there we have it. So we have 9, maybe, rain. I'll put one in the wrong column just so we can see what happens. I'll put teeth in this column. And hello over here. So we stop it. And we see that we had 2 incorrect, and it actually shows us the ones that we had incorrect. And those, then the student could just refresh. Sorry, click OK, refresh, and try it again. And that's the tutorial for sample lesson number 8. Thank you for watching.